Hey, Matt, my man, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
How you doing, Elisha? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. I'm doing quite fine, and thank you so very much for being here. And you see, Matt, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things, and I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Matt, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invested in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. They say some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Matt, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Matt, just recently, I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, Matt. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day. I was so excited. I tell you, here is my point, my man. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Matt that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request for me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing. Your philosophies, your insight, your journey, how you're offering your solutions, the impact your work is having. These stuffs are beautiful. And just before I sent the request, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Matt is doing, not only me now, but even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Matt. So thank you so very much for doing that yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, my man.
Thank you. That's awesome. Love it. I love the
Thank
analogy.
you. Thanks
Perfect.
so much. Thanks so much, man. So let's get started. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Matt, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, my man, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very, very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason I'm excited to have the amazing Matt on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, my man, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Matt, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Matt got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, my man, over to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, my name is Matt. I am a co-owner of a 401k administration company. Um, on that's where I am today, right? That's probably about a 20-year journey to get to this. Probably more than 20 years now in the industry, but um, I grew up in Ohio. I didn't want to live there any longer. It was a little cold. It's a little cold. We ended up moving down to Florida. I was in the finance industry back then already, so straight out of college, I went straight into it. Worked at an insurance company. Moved down to Florida because I wasn't a big fan of living in Ohio. went with my brother, started working in another part of the industry, in the banking side of it. Started working in more in the, I guess, B2C side of it. I started building a client book of business that was more geared around the retiree centric, because Florida, right? There's a lot of retirees in Florida. And that's kind of where that's where your focus was back then. And I didn't love it. I wanted to work with my peers. I wanted to work with business owners. Um, I had nothing in common with retirees, right? And it just wasn't, I wake up after I have a new client or a new position in working with a client, and I would wake up like, oh, I get to work with them for the rest of my life, for the rest of my life, for the rest of their life, and that wasn't something I really was like not really interested in doing. So, but when I did work with the business owners, and I worked with entrepreneurs and real estate investors, I enjoyed it on a much higher scale, just because I was so intrigued how every single person is different. Every single entrepreneurial journey is different. Every single goal is different. And you get to wake up and every single day is different. And which, it took out the mundaneness of where I was at. I met my wife, had our daughters in Florida, and we didn't want to be local, didn't want to be stuck in one single location, didn't want to be financially or location dependent, because I was working with retirees. I was focusing on knee to knee conversations or face to face in person. I wanted to become more virtual, like where I could talk to other people throughout the world and throughout the United States. And so I started to pivot over to the 401k side of it, to where I can work with for entrepreneurs and business owners and real estate investors all over, not just in one location. And around the time of COVID, I decided to sell my business, because I was like, you know what, I don't want to work with I don't want to be B2C anymore. I didn't want to work with retirees. I want 100% focus on nothing but the entrepreneurs, and that's what I ended up doing. I sold that business, and then we moved. We left Florida. We wanted to be able to travel. A lot of restrictions during COVID, obviously, right? We decided to buy an RV, and we traveled the entire east side of the United States for a year. And with our two daughters, we were homeschooling, we were RVing, like just an absolute amazing time. Like the memories, there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of hard work, right? You're doing a lot. Something's always empty or something's always full. But we had a lot of fun doing it, and traveled the whole east side of the United States, basically. Once we got settled with that, I had started really moving more into this B2B, working with entrepreneurs. I merged part of my company with this company I'm with now. And my wife and I were saying, you know what, let's move to Hawaii. And that's where we're at right now. We live in Hawaii. We've been here for 3 years and working virtually. I wake up at 4 a.m., but I'm also done by 1 every day, to where we can spend time with the kids. But it allowed me to, being one, working with business owners, they're busy, and time is a little bit more flexible in that regard. Whereas we can do quick meetings, we can do them over Zoom or virtual meetings. And the rest of my company, my staff and everything is on the mainland. But I'm working from Hawaii right now, working with business owners and building out custom 401k plans for them, where they can't really find that in too many locations. So that's kind of where I got to now.
Amazing. It's beautiful what you're doing. And one thing that stood out is the fact that you knew what you wanted and you were going after it. I love that. I love that. And that's very inspiring. So let's talk about 401k. Okay. So what is the number one 401k mistake business owners make?
Yeah, they're number one. I'd say there's a couple of them, but the assumption, there's a big misunderstanding out there that all 401ks are created equal. And most people think like I'm doing this for my employees. It's an employee benefit, right? Maybe your state is telling you that you have to have one. There's a lot of state mandates out there, but at the end of the day, the 401k misconception is that it's for your employees, and the reality is it's for you as the business owner. It's a tool. It's a tool for tax savings. It's a tool for leverage. It's a tool for growth. The aspect of having an employee benefit is a part of the equation. You check off a box, and as long as you check off those boxes, now the rest of it's yours, and you get to use it as a tool and save upwards of 6 digits in taxes when designed right. So not all 401ks are created equal. It should be designed custom to you and your business, not everybody else.
So why should every business owner, or let's say, what should every business owner know about retirement plans?
Yeah, so kind of going back into what I said before, it's looking at it as a tool, not looking at it as an employee benefit. There's a lot of there's a lot of gray area, I should say. It's not just this is your match, this is the vesting period, and that's it. The way we design it, it's think of an upside down 3-tiered wedding cake, right? So it's like an upside down pyramid, if you will, and you're building stacks. You're building a retirement plan stack, one on top of the other, and as you increase these stacks, and as your profitability grows, as your business evolves, you're able to stack these, and making sure that every layer is designed a certain way allows you to maximize the layer above it. So getting that baseline is really important, and making sure it's built a certain way to where when you are ready to take that step or take that leap in your business or profit levels or bottom line revenue, you're able to say, okay, I'm going to use this as a tool. I'm going to put money into it. I'm going to save money on taxes. I'm going to use it for this. I'm going to use it for that. It's not as structured as most people think. There's a lot of gray area, a lot of rules around it still, but the 401k tax code is built for the owner, built for the business owner. You just have to check off a box and do a certain minimum requirement for the employees. And that's where our strength is to make sure that that's your money. This is your baby. This is your business. And being able to take advantage of that is where our superpower lies, if you will.
Amazing. Okay, now I've just learned something new. Thank you for sharing that. So there's this part I'm also curious about. So what is a self-directed 401k?
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually just about to go into that, actually, when I think about it. I almost said that on the last question, so I'm glad you brought that up. Self-directed means a lot, actually. So when a lot of people think, if they're working at a W-2 job and they're an employee, they're used to seeing a menu of mutual funds. Like, here's 20 funds inside of it, and this is my choice. Once you go into self-directed, it's usually because you're the owner of the company, and you now have a lot more control of designing this 401k plan or this stack, right? Inside, right? So the 401k is a code. It has nothing to do with the investments inside of it. It only has to do with how the money is taxed, if you will. Okay, and the investments inside of it is a whole nother story. You're not just building a menu. You're able to have total control of those assets. And what I mean by that is you can choose mutual funds, or you can choose stocks. You can choose bonds. You can get into cryptocurrency. You can hold cryptocurrency inside your plan. You can buy real estate inside of your plan. You can buy land. You can act as a private lender. So you're not stuck to a mutual fund, basic mutual fund. You have a lot more latitude and flexibility with what you want to do with that money. Again, it's a tool. If you want to get into real estate, if you want to get into cryptocurrency, let's do it in a tax efficient manner. Get the money in there, get the tax deductions for it, or turn it into tax-free money using the Roth component. And then you start buying real estate with that money. So all it is a tax code. It has nothing to do with the investments. Use it, get more money because you're getting the tax deduction, and use that deduction to invest in other businesses, buy more real estate. if you have read a book, it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great book, but it's about buying income producing assets. And what you're doing is you're using the money you have, right? And I think they in that book they consider like you have little soldiers or something. Each dollar is a little soldier or something like that. I can't remember the exact context of it, but use those. You want to buy more soldiers. You want to buy more little. Every dollar that you have, you want to buy more. You want to earn more. Using this as a tool, every time you contribute into it, you're creating more soldiers, right? You're saving money on taxes, and then you have those soldiers go buy more soldiers, and so on and so forth. So yes, you're putting your money in there. It's inside of the plan, but you can use the plan and self-direct it, and then that's saving money outside of the plan, and you can use that money to grow your business, buy more businesses, expand, reinvest, whatever you want to do. It's a tool. It's not just an employee benefit.
It's a tool. Now I got it. Okay, so we have one more to go. All right. So for business owners who are overpaying taxes, all right, what should they do?
Yeah. So this is there's a lot of a big discussion going on right now with the new tax bill that just was passed, right? So there's a lot of strategies that are coming out of the woodwork, and it's how does that apply to you, and how does that apply to this person, and how does that apply, and how do you maximize those dollars and those tax breaks and those deductions and tax credits? Again, this is the IRS code. There's 7,000 pages in the IRS tax code, and this is one. This is one of them, and it's all how it connects. Like, how does the 401k connect with your other tax strategies? Communicating with your accountants, creating a team of people around you is really, really important. Making sure you have the right professionals and the right people around you to help you multiply those soldiers, if you will, that I mentioned. This is one piece of it. Being able to utilize it. The upside down 3-tier wedding cake, right? We're able to get 6 digits of contributions in there and 6 digits of tax savings. We build out designs where people are saving $200,000-$300,000 in taxes every single year. And that's a lot of money to be able to use towards your business or use towards your other passions or your other projects. So, but that's one piece. That's just us. That's just our specialty. We're specialists, right? Your CPA, your accountant, your tax strategist, those are your generalists. Those are the ones who are bringing in the specialist into it. And we're just one cog in that overall machine. And being able to communicate and make sure all those pieces are together is where you start really saving money on some taxes. And this is just one piece of it.
Amazing. I got that. Okay, my man. So to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to utilize your service, reach out to you, ask you questions, how can that be possible?
Yeah, a lot of business owners are really stuck in working in their business, right? They're in the business. They're doing the day to day. They're bringing on the clients. We're trying to find good employees. You got to take a piece of that time and work on your business. And this is one part that you need to work on. Again, you're using all your tools, and this is one tool in your toolbox. And ask questions. Look ahead of time. You might not be ready, but it's okay to have a conversation about it so you know what the next step is. We ask 2 questions every time we build out a design: is this for you or your employees? What's your number one focus? Why are you talking to us? Number 2 is, are you ready to contribute? How much do you want to contribute? Is it none because you're using this dollars for something else? Is it for you want its tax savings? What's the goal here? And if you're not ready, it's okay. It's okay to wait, but have the information ready so when you are ready to flip the switch, you can do that. And that is just planning and working on your business instead of in your business, and then that's where the success lies.
Also, my man, when you're ready, flip the switch. I got that. So can you say your website once again? Your contacting.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. You can just find us at 401k.expert. That's the website, 401k.expert. There's some information on there, case studies, but most importantly, it's just connecting with somebody on our team, one of our experts, to have that conversation to where you have this in your back pocket. I know what I need to do. I know what's coming down the road, what my deadlines are. There's a lot of deadlines you have to focus on. So the 401k world is vast. Trying to Google this and Google that, yes, you'll get some information, but the whole story lies within the conversations that you have about your business, not everybody else's. That's the most important thing to think about. It's all about your business, not everybody else's.
Profound words. I got that. So that's gonna be the end of the show, my man. Thank you for coming. Thank you so very much for coming. And thank you for
Thank you,
sharing this
Elisha.
beautiful
Appreciate it.
stuff with us. It means a whole lot, my man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.